Hello, ladies. Welcome in. Welcome in. Who is joining me live today? Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. We are starting a little bit earlier today, so I'll talk a little bit about that. But I'm happy to see you all, and I'm excited. I missed you guys. I have missed you guys. So what have you been up to? Let me know what you've been up to. If you are joining me live, comment Team Live. And if you are watching the replay, comment Team Replay. So I'm very excited to talk to you guys today because what I'm going to be talking about changed my life. OMG. Oh my gosh. Because yes, I teach you how to manage stress, take care of yourself. But if you don't actually know how all of this starts, you will never have permanent results. Never. Oh my gosh. Okay, before I go into today's topic, welcome in. Thank you to the ladies joining me live. You guys, I feel like I have the best community of women. I say this every time. I feel like I have the best community. You guys are just so sweet. So thank you. Some of you sent me messages. I saw them. I will respond. Just give me some time. But thank you. I really, really appreciate you guys and all your wonderful messages. So if this is the first time, I'm hearing a little bit of noise. Okay, so if this is the first time that you're seeing me, welcome in. My name is AB, and I am a life coach, and I specialize in helping professional women who are feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, burned out. I help them have balance through my coaching program. Now, if any of this sounds like you, feel free to reach out to me via any of my social media handles and email. So today's topic is actually one of the pillars of the work that I do with women. I talked about it before I introduced myself, but I get this question a lot. Oh, AB, yeah, it's great. It's great to prioritize yourself. Oh, it's great to be able to manage stress. But I always find that I'm always going back to old behaviors that then lead me to get burned out again. Or I hear women telling me, AB, how do I do this when this is this? How do I prioritize myself when I have this to pay, I have that bill to pay, I have this person to take care of, I have this, I have that. How do I prioritize myself? How do I invest in myself? Or one of my favorite, AB, yeah, all of this is so great, but I need to go talk to my husband, my child, my sister, I need to go talk to these people and ask them if it's okay to invest in myself. That's a common one I hear. Or another one. Yeah, AB, it's fantastic. Yeah, managing stress, but AB, this person is sick in the hospital. They need me. Or AB, we're trying to afford a mortgage. Or what? There's always a reason. Always a reason. And when I hear those reasons, before I started on this, going deep into mindset work, you guys, that's my juice. Like, that is my high. That's what I like to call it. Understanding how our brain works. I don't know why I didn't study psychology in school, honestly, because I'm fascinated by it, but it's coming. It's coming. So when I started understanding the way our brain works and our mind works, when I hear women say those reasons, I go like, I get excited. You know why? Because now they get to enter my world. If they didn't need me, like if they were like, yeah, AB, I hear you. Yeah, but they didn't really need me, then who would I be able to help? Like, I would have nobody to help, you guys. So, why am I telling you all of this? Because women throughout our history, women have not been taught how to invest in themselves, ever. Nobody taught me. Nobody. They did tell me how to invest in others, though. That I would tell you. They told me how best to show up for others. They told me how best to perform an audition for others so they can pick me and approve me. That I was taught. But what I find so interesting is my story. Many women can relate to my story. Like, you guys that are watching, whether you're watching the live or watching the replay, please share your own story. Did anybody teach you how to invest in yourself as a woman? Anybody? But I bet they taught you how to invest in others, even when people don't even ask you. I'm sure they taught you, because growing up, you get guilt-tripped if you don't do it. So it's like, look, if you don't show up and do things for others, nobody's going to like you, nobody's going to marry you, nobody's going to want to do things for you, stuff like that. Nobody's going to accept you. So they have this guilt-reading programming in most of the women, most of us, myself included. Most women had this guilt programming. That's why, you guys, that's why whenever you try to do something for yourself, you start to feel guilty. You start to feel guilty. You know why? Because for a major part of your life, for all your life, you've been told, invest in others, good. Invest in others, wonderful. Invest in you, bad. Invest in you, self-centered. Invest in you, you're a narcissist. I don't like to use that word in my videos, so I'm gonna use the N word that ends with a T. Invest in you, selfish. Invest in you, how dare you? Who do you think you are? Pompous. Invest in you, you become a snob. Invest in you, you become high maintenance. Ooh, I don't like that word. Invest in you, you become proud. Invest in you, you become cold. Invest in you, you won't go to heaven. A lot of women have told me that. Invest in you, you won't have a good life. I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about the programming. And so, how did my journey into self-investment start? You guys, the woman that you see today talking about you, in fact, it's so funny that I'm the one teaching this. I just feel like my whole life is pretty much ironic, because most of the things that I teach you guys, years ago, I was on the other side. Let me tell you where I used to come from. I used to be the kind of woman that, you know, you would say, yeah, Abby, you should spend money on this. No, I will give you all the reasons not to. But somebody else who asked me for that money for themselves, I was like, yeah, sure. Or a situation will come where, you know, spending money is going to make my life better. I would never, in a million years, be the kind of woman, or in the past, be the kind of woman that will buy courses, coaching programs. Are you kidding me? When I can do it myself? Are you kidding me? Or go and spend anything that was not considered basic. What do I mean by basic? So basically, if it's not food, if it's not shelter, it's extra. That's how I was raised. And so when I went through my own journeys, for those of you who are watching me for the first time, I got into coaching and teaching self-improvement and stress management and having balance because I went through the process where I almost lost my life because I was so stressed out and burned out. And as I'm, now coaching women and helping women through this, I've been finding that I'm peeling the layers behind why I was so extreme in my over-giving, wanting to help, wanting to people please. Oh my gosh. I see women now, they're like, Abby, I engage in people pleasing behaviors. I'm like, great. Now let's get you out of it. I'm never surprised by their extent of people pleasing because you know why? Yep, yours truly used to 100%. So those extreme behaviors of just a lack of self-love, now, I'm getting to peel those layers back. And now that I'm doing mindset work and understanding how the mind works, it's beginning to make more sense. So how does self-investment come into all of this? So you invest in something that you value. Let me repeat myself. You invest in something that you value. So that's why when somebody's trying to, get you to do something, if you don't value, you're not going to put your money there. For the average woman, we were not taught this. But men were, because historically men have been the generators, they've been the providers, right? Providers, generators of money. So men know how to invest. I learned from them. This is something that I really admire and respect men for because, man, they can invest. They will spend $5,000 on a golf club, and women will struggle to spend $10 to get a pair of, what is $10? To get maybe a better coffee. I don't know, I don't drink coffee, but maybe to get that's a really expensive coffee. $10 coffee, I don't know you guys. But they'll struggle to spend $10, let's just use coffee, to get higher quality coffee. They will haggle $50, they will haggle prices and try to price something so low so they can get it at a discount, and they will feel proud of that. Now, I'm not going to come here and say it's wrong to want things on a discount. Like, come on. I'm not going to do that. No. But there's certain things about my life that I've learned to refuse discounts because the reason I'm purchasing that thing, I don't want it at a discount. I don't want the energy of that in me. There's certain things that I don't really care about, if this is discount, great, we'll take it. But if I'm going to invest in something that is going to affect my health, well-being, wellness, I don't want a discount because I just, the energy of discounts doesn't feel good to me. No judgment to anyone who loves discounts or everything. That's just a boundary for me. I'll explain why I became that kind of person. See, now back to the time where I struggled with doing anything for myself. When I healed, so I invested in a mentor, and I started having balance. I started learning how to say no. I started learning how to have boundaries and enforce them unapologetically. But there was still an area that was missing. And that area was a sense of worthiness in this woman that I am becoming. Let me pause, take a sip of water, we'll continue. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So a sense of worthiness of the woman that I was becoming. What do I mean by that? All of a sudden now, I started to attract things in my field. I started to attract better opportunities. I started to attract better treatment. And I'll start to cringe. I'll start to feel like something is wrong. My nervous system will go into just fight or flight. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, I've worked so hard. What is going on? Of course, I didn't know. Now I understand it. But at that time, I didn't know. And when I started working with women, they too will experience this. And that was part of why I created this third module, because this third pillar in my program, because we'll walk through the process where you learn how to say no. You now know your worth. But that will only take you so far. You know why? Because you will encounter new experiences. You will encounter life. You will never always be at 100% every day. Things will happen, right? It's just called being a human being. And so how do you keep up with that kind of transformation? I struggled with this. Now, back to me. I was able to overcome this when one of my mentors, she was selling one of her courses. Bear in mind, I used to be the kind of woman that will never buy anything online or in person, like I said, especially if it's like courses or program, never. And so I traveled for vacation. I was with my family, we were having fun. And so it helped that I was not in the same environment that I had always been. I was in a different country. So I was like, okay, in that energy, I was like, oh, let me just try this. I bought it. And as my family members were, gisting and all of that stuff, I started listening to it. And I had always heard this thing that, remember what I said? People invest in things that they value, but I never really understood it. I thought it was a sales tactic, you guys. If I give you guys my whole story, you're going to be like, oh, Amy, but you know what? It's for a good purpose. And something changed in me when I put the course. It was like there was a different part to my nervous system. What I noticed was that I started having a certain level of boldness to receive good things. Whereas before, I would question and feel nervous, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening to me. I'll give you guys an example of how this can show up. When somebody tells you, oh my gosh, your dress is so beautiful, and you quickly respond, yeah, you too, that's a sign that you don't know how to hold a compliment. When somebody says, did you cook this? This tastes delicious. And you say, there's too much salt. This is not the usual level that I would do it. There's something wrong with it. Things like that are a sign that your nervous system is not used to receiving compliments. Your nervous system is not programmed to start to receive like that. And so I used to be like that. That's why I'm giving you guys that example. But however, when I did that, I started noticing that I was able to hold things like that. I was able to receive compliments without needing to give somebody a compliment back. I was able to feel comfortable with receiving certain things in my life. I didn't know about investing at all, you guys. This was just me in a different country on vacation trying out something new. And then I did the work and everything. And then I noticed that because I did that, another I can't remember who, because I have a lot of mentors, you guys. But they were doing like a seminar or something. I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'm gonna join. It wasn't expensive. It was like what? I think it was like $50 or something for like an hour or two. But the excitement, I think, is what made me start to realize something different is going on in me. And I went through the seminar. It was amazing. But it wasn't just the seminar and the content. It was the fact that I thought that I deserved to be able to be part of something like that. That is what changed. So I started practicing this thing, little investments. Instead of, there's some times where you're going through someone's page, they may have free courses and stuff like that. I will go and look for the ones that are paid and buy it. Little things. I started with $10, $20, until I got to a place where I wanted to invest in my business, you guys. Invest in my business and take it to the next level. And I was talking to this person, and they were quoting me 5 figures. I wanted to pull my hair out. I was like, no, there's no way I'm doing this. There's no way I'm doing this. I did it anyways. And it changed my life. How? Okay. So when I would go out, or when I would be in certain situations where, you need to carry yourself well, I noticed that I wasn't having to fake it so much. You know how when they say when you're moving to the next level, you have to fake it and all. But what investing did for me, investing in myself, is that I didn't have to fake it. Because I would remember that, wait a minute, we just paid 5 figures for a course. And it wasn't happening consciously, but my subconscious was programmed to be able to accept things like that. Another part of this was that I didn't know that my brain was wired differently. But one thing that I've learned to accept about myself is that I value things where I put my money. Sometimes I'll get annoyed if something is free, because I don't want it to be free. What am I going to get from it? What am I going to get from it? Oh my gosh. I'll get annoyed, and I'll go find somebody that has something paid that I can buy, just so that I'm in that energy of self-investment. Now, when I tell women this, they're shocked, because they're like, they all grew up like me. When we hear about pouring into yourself, I told you guys, self-investment is selfish. Self-investment is self-centered and whatnot. I'm where I am. I'm able to talk to you guys today. If you guys don't know, I also do speaking. I noticed that my confidence went from, I've always been a confident person, but I talked about me needing to fake it till I made it. And then when I started doing this, it wasn't faking it anymore, because my subconscious was already programmed to do unexpected things and be okay with it. Be okay with it. I'll give you guys a recent example. There's something that I've been, working on manifesting for a while. And I've been, showing up and stuff like that and doing what I need to do. And at first, I was like, because I was talking to a mentor of mine, and I did some journaling on it. And it turned out that I didn't feel worthy of the thing. See, when I discover things like that about myself, it annoys me. Because I want the thing. How dare you stop me from having the thing? And when I say how dare you, I'm talking to myself. Many women are unable to get to their next level because they are stopping themselves. How? Your nervous system isn't wired to have the thing that you want. So it's never going to let you get it. Okay? That's a different video topic. I'll talk about it. But let's go back to my story. And so when I discovered, oh, I'm actually running away from this thing because my nervous system is trying to protect me and is holding back. Now, when I want something, I get it. I get it. So I sat down, I was like, okay, Abby, what is the quickest way to get this thing? I was thinking, then I forgot, and I went to do something. I was listening to one of my mentors talk, and as they were talking, I was doing something else. And then I was like, oh my gosh, there was this pair of shoes that I've always wanted. Now, you guys, I tell you that when you're investing in yourself and your well-being, it's important to invest in things that will fill you up from within, that will make you feel whole. You know, doing external things will not last, or shopping or retail therapy. All of those things are just 5 to 10 minutes of dopamine rush. And after that, you're looking for the next thing. In my case, what was so different about it was that because I was raised to be modest when it comes to certain things, like it's just naturally. But this pair of shoes was something that never in a million years will I spend that amount of money. Like, it's like the most expensive shoes that I've ever had. And this is somebody that I do like shoes. So in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I've been wanting the shoes. And I just bought it. And how I knew that it wasn't coming from a place of, oh, I have to do this, was when I bought it, like my nervous system was like, okay, Abby, next. But something changed when I woke up the next day. All of a sudden now, like there was this certain level of confidence, like, yeah, go do it, receive the thing that you want anyways. I cannot explain it, you have to experience this. And I started doing it, and I noticed a shift in my energy. Again, the shoes are great. With or without the shoes, I'll still be Abby. However, the action that I took to do something unexpected, to shock my nervous system to a point where it's like, yeah, Abby, next, was what changed for me. Many times I've been in certain situations that I'm just like, nope, not for me. And then women will ask me, oh, why, what's going on? I'm just like, nothing. But the reason I'm able to say no is because I've poured so much into me. If I'm not getting my return, I'm out of there. There has to be, if it's to volunteer, I will volunteer, but at least I know I'm volunteering. I'm not giving myself away for free under the pretext that I'm there for something else. Does that make sense? If you want me to volunteer, we'll straight up, we'll say that. I give you guys my free time and stuff like that. But I have a boundary with that, because when you are in the energy of free, you will struggle to accept good things in your life, your health included. So, and I just want to give you guys a quick story again. When I was going through stress and when I was in that phase where I was so overwhelmed, I used to have a lot of health issues. And one of them was, painful cramps and stuff like that. And I healed myself, and my system stabilized, and everything was stable and stuff like that. I remember I was telling an associate of mine, I gave her the tea, you guys. These are things that I put in my program. I gave her the tea, like free. I said, do this, this is what I did. And she was like, oh, okay, that's great. Wait, how much is that thing that you did? And I told her how much it was, like $100 and something per session. And she's like, no, I would rather suffer with the pain. And I'm just like, what? She's like, no, I cannot spend that amount of money. I'd rather just, yeah, I'll suffer with the pain. I'll take these painkillers every month. But yeah, there's no way I'm spending that. And I'm like, I didn't judge her. I was like, okay, everyone has free will. That's what I've learned. Everyone has free will. Not everybody wants to level up, and that's okay. Nobody needs to be forced. This is something that you need to be called in. But that gave me perspective into understanding why women struggle with this. It's not about, this is your own health, because this thing was so painful. You guys know how painful menstrual cramps can be, right? This person was telling me she would rather leave on meds every month than take the time and energy to spend money on professionals that can help you with that so you can be free. But she told me, no, that's too expensive. And I'm like, somebody like that, if she comes tomorrow and says, oh, I'm suffering with this, I wouldn't be surprised. Or if she says that people don't respect her, or if she says that she always attracts the wrong kind of men, I wouldn't be surprised. Or if she says that people at work don't take her seriously, I wouldn't be surprised. Or if she says that people walk all over her, or nobody cares about her, I wouldn't be surprised. Why? Because how you are in one part of your life is how you show up in other parts. And so the example that I gave of me investing in me in, little things started to show up in other areas of my life. When you've poured so much into something, you don't want to see it mess up. That's how we treat children. When you've poured your heart and soul into raising a child, you don't want anything to happen to that child. That's your precious, my precious. Is it Harry Potter? No, Lord of the Rings. My precious. Now imagine if you turn that on you. You become your precious. The thing they used to tell us about when you pour into you being self-centered, do you know what actually happens? And I see this a lot in women. When we become our precious, now we want other women we want to pour into other women so that they too can experience what we're experiencing. That's it. That changed when I understood all of this. I like fine things. It just gave me a good example to spend money. I'm not saying that I just spend money anyhow, but it changed the game for me. It changed the game. And so the things that I teach you guys, how to fill yourself up from within, how to be the kind of woman that prioritizes herself. If you want a quickest route to do that, that's how you start getting that. That's how you start becoming the kind of woman. That's how you start attracting better to you. Because when you're showing up from that energy, you are in your power. It is hard to say no to a woman that is in her power. When people approach you, they think twice. You know why? Because you're showing up in a different kind of energy called queen energy, that they don't want to disrespect themselves, because if they show up in your presence and they don't have enough to offer you, they would look silly. So they don't want to embarrass themselves. So people think twice, and the people that have nothing good for you will not even approach you. So you already sift out the things that are not for you, and you start to attract better in all areas of your life. Your health will improve because, first of all, now you're working in alignment with the way you've been designed. Women were designed to be spoiled and cherished and cared for and just nurtured. Even though, yes, women are known to be nurturers, but you were designed to be nurtured too. That's why you are at your best, when you are poured into. So when you are not functioning like that, you start to malfunction. And that's why we see so many health issues affecting women. So many, I don't want to get into the stats. Okay? But that is how you start to become that kind of woman. You guys, I'm just looking at time here. I don't want this live to be too long, but because this is one of my favorite topics to learn, to teach, and we'll continue this next week. So I say this to say, how do you start to become the kind of woman that invests in her wellness, in her health and well-being? The first thing is understanding if you feel worthy of it. That's the first thing. Do you actually feel worthy of this thing? Because if you don't, you won't get it, you won't do it, and you will not accept it, even if it shows up in your front for free. There's so many other reasons. Again, we'll continue this live, but next week we'll talk about certain thoughts that women have when they try to invest in themselves. Okay, but I have to end this live because I have somewhere else to be. So I hope you guys enjoyed the live. Oh, this is like, oh my gosh, I need to do a masterclass on this. I need to do a masterclass on this because this is like one of my favorite pillars of my program. I love the feminine energy part too, but this is like, you know what? I'll think about it. Maybe I'll think about it. Okay? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the live. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know or put them in the comments. But other than that, I will see you next week for part 2 of this. Bye.